They reversed the result of your fight.
Yeah.
Should they reverse the result of that fight as well?
Just depends. Like if that changes the whole fight, if that gives Roach a victory, give him the victory. That's how you keep the integrity of the sport, right? That's why they suspended me, right? To keep the integrity of the sport.
It looks like Tank is frustrated with all the criticism he's been getting for the knee he took during the Roach fight. Ever since the fight, the backlash hasn't let up, and now Gervonta Davis is feeling the pressure too.
Tank Davis, GTD, and I don't mean got the draws, went up against Lamont Roach. Let me tell you something. Tank got spanked. Roach should have won. And Tank even dropped to his knee. It should have been called a knockdown.
Now, it's not just Tank. A new video has surfaced of referee Willis being interviewed, and the situation is getting even more intense. Let's fill you in on what's happening.
Did Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus, the corner go up.
Who used to cheer for him, and the analysts who once called him the most dangerous puncher in boxing are now using one bad moment to tear Tank apart. The internet has been brutal, with memes everywhere, and suddenly, everyone has an opinion on what went down in the ring. Meanwhile, the New York State Athletic Commission is still looking into how referee Steve Willis handled the fight, making things even more dramatic. Just hours ago, Tank had enough. He vented his frustration, saying he's tired of how boxing operates. Boxing is trash, he said. Look at everyone bashing me. They're the same ones who bet on me. Tank pointed out how in boxing, if you lose once or have a rough night,
boxing has become this thing where, you have to be undefeated for people to care about you. And that's all going to go.
It's been all about that one moment, the moment he dropped to a knee, the hesitation from referee Steve Willis, and the controversial call where Lamont Roach Jr. might have been robbed a legitimate knockdown. Suddenly, the conversation around Tank has shifted. The same people who once called him unstoppable are now saying he's vulnerable. Fighters who used to steer clear of mentioning his name are now throwing jabs, acting like this is their chance to challenge him. And perhaps the biggest slap in the face? People are now acting like Shakur Stevenson could easily take him on.
What may happen against Shakur Stevenson? I hear more about Shakur Stevenson after this fight than I hear about Lamont Roach, which I think is sad.
That's what really set Tank off. He admitted he lost focus in the ring, but he's not backing down. I'll get back up, and we'll see what everyone says, he said. I'll put all of them down. It's clear Tank isn't just reacting to the Roach fight. He's fed up with the disrespect. He's tired of hearing all the shots from analysts, fans, and other fighters. Tank is making it clear he won't back down. Meanwhile, the debate over the fight continues. The panel on the ProBox TV discussion made one thing clear. What happened in the ring was a mess. Veteran boxing writer Dan Raphael didn't hold back, saying that bad night by Willis cost Lamont Roach a championship and took away his chance to hand America's top fighter his first loss. A lot of things went wrong, and it all went against Lamont Roach.
If the question is about Gervonta Davis's power, what is his power like? Is he as hard a puncher as he's made out to be? If the best name that somebody could give me of somebody that he knocked out is a little dude who was at his, fourth weight? I can't read too much into that.
Jack Rice, a respected former referee, along with trainer Stephen Bradman, Edwards, and former champions Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi, all agreed that Roach's knockdown should have been called. They all felt that the way Willis handled the situation raised too many red flags. First, there was a hesitation in making the call. Then Tank turned his back and walked to his corner mid-round. And on top of all that, his trainer, Calvin Ford, was allowed to step in and wipe Tank's face with a towel. How does that happen? Malignaggi asked during the panel, how does a fighter just walk to his corner, get his face wiped, and the referee does nothing?
To me, I think I won the fight. Now, granted, 9th round should have been called a knockdown. Two judges on the official scorecards gave him the round 10-9. If that was a knockdown, I win the round 10-8. That's a 3-point swing.
ProBox TV founder Gary Jonas, who also advises Roach, is pushing for the New York State Athletic Commission to overturn the fight's results. He has officially filed an appeal, arguing that Roach should be declared the winner. His reasoning? The knockdown was clear. Tank turned his back mid-fight, and Calvin Ford illegally stepped onto the ring apron. Any one of these should have been enough for Willis to take a point away from Tank. People make mistakes, but this always seems to favor the other side. Bradman Edwards pointed out. Many fans agree with that statement. When Tank was the undefeated superstar, everything seemed to go his way. But now that there's been a slip-up, people are questioning how boxing protects its biggest stars. Malik Nagy didn't hold back either, saying, you can't call your
that fight. I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call it a knockdown. If they called a knockdown, you lost that.
While the commission is still reviewing the fight, Tank is focused on something else, revenge. He sees what's happening and knows that if he had knocked out Roach early, none of this would even be a conversation. He's aware that the same analysts criticizing him now would be praising his power if things had gone differently. And let's not forget the fighters who are now circling around him. Shakur Stevenson wasted no time throwing shade, implying that Tank's performance shows he can't hang with pure boxers. Ryan Garcia, of course, couldn't resist jumping in, clowning Tank on Twitter, saying,
So when your foot's out, 1 foot out, you're going to get in the ring and you're going to have that moment where you got to step it up and it just won't come. And I think that's what happened.
What do you think about him taking the knee at that point?
I think that
should it have been ruled a knockdown?
100% should have been ruled.
Even Devin Haney, who's had his own back and forth with Tank, made sure to remind everyone that real champions don't take knees. Tank isn't just hearing this. He's taking notes. For him, this is personal now. It's no longer about whether that knee should have been counted as a knockdown. It's about proving that one rough night doesn't erase everything he's accomplished. He's always been known as the most dangerous puncher in the division, and he's determined to remind the world why. I'll put all the...
Thought he would, and I thought he won the fight personally. The no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own 2 eyes. And
there's already talk of a rematch with Roach, but for Tank, that might not be enough. He's looking beyond Roach now. He wants to shut up everyone who's spoken negatively about him, and he's determined to erase this moment from history with a knockout so brutal that no one will ever mention the Roach fight again. However, the reality is this controversy won't go away easily. Even if the New York Commission doesn't overturn the result, this will remain a stain on Tank's legacy, at least for now. Fighters like Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, and even Muhammad Ali all had their moments of doubt, but the difference lies in how they responded. As for Tank, his response is clear. This won't be his downfall. If anything, it's just the beginning of his next chapter. And history shows us one thing.